And we are live with another episode of Brownish.
Yeah,
You guys know my
yeah.
co-host, the hilarious, the beautiful Sasha Mercy. Right there, right there, right there. Mm, 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 mm. But let's continue the conversation real quick about what
Yes.
we were just talking about,
Yes.
because you get mad at me for stuff that information I do not present to you, which I find odd in presenting. Like you got mad at me for my birthday.
Right.
I don't know how to present that information so it just doesn't sound almost self-serving, like
Well,
almost
the
like it's
thing
my
is,
my birthday is like I'm always
yeah,
like
but the thing is, I don't know, you could have like, oh yeah, well, this week is my birthday. I know that we're like, like you could just be like, you could have
but
mentioned it somehow.
I don't like that because it's always like, oh yeah, this week's my birthday, oh happy birthday, like it makes this insincere interaction, you know what I'm saying, like
I don't
it's
know. I
almost
feel
like
like at the time, I can't remember, but I feel like at the time there were moments where I'm like, oh, this would have fit in perfectly if he would have just said this and that. I think it was like, when was it? It was like before one of our live streams or after one
uh,
of our live streams.
uh,
But it was like, I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know it was your birthday. We could have done like a whole like birthday stream for you. We could have
yeah,
celebrated it. You
I don't
don't
like
like
that
celebrating your birthday?
So all right,
Talk to
now we're
me.
gonna get
Talk to
deep,
me.
damn it. Sasha, we're gonna get deep. This is what you want? You want me to open up
Come
and
on,
let
we
the
gonna
emotions
open
out?
up. This is a transparent show, like we
Ah.
connecting with our audience, we're connecting with our people.
So growing up, we were Jehovah's Witnesses for a while, so we did not
Okay.
celebrate birthdays.
Okay.
On top of that, my grandmother passed away around my birthday. So my mother, that was my mother's mother, so she was did not want to celebrate around that time. So for there's a like she would try to do birthdays for me, but it was always like after, like, so for me my birthday was never like oh my god, it's Eric's birthday.
Oh my god. It was just like, oh, the memory of someone's like, oh,
Yeah, like
this
it
would
would
be
make my
cool.
mom sad because that was around the time she lost her mom, and then when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, like, oh, we don't celebrate that. We
No.
don't, not no birthdays. So I was never one to like. I see people like, yo, it's my 21st. We're going crazy. I'm just like, my birthday, whatever. If I can get on stage on my birthday, that'd be great. And even on stage, I don't go, hey y'all,
It's
birthday
my
today.
birthday. Come on, no, you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate these milestones. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm this age. I done this. I've accomplished that. Come on now, you have to.
That's why.
Your,
That's why
your,
I
your your
kind of.
life has to
That's
be
why.
celebrated, Eric.
That's why I kind of get mad at Facebook because Facebook snitches like, yo, it's his birthday. I'm like, Facebook, shut up, Facebook.
But you know what? I found out on Instagram because you made a
It's
post right about something about like, oh, it's my birthday, and then everyone's like, oh, happy birthday, and I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, yo, I'm his co-host and everything, and I didn't even know.
no, the post was my wife posted, so I reposted it. But I'm not one to be like, guys, I'm amazing. It's my birthday. Tell me how great
But
I am.
you should celebrate how amazing you are and all the things that you have accomplished. Like you've accomplished a lot. So let's be honest, all right?
Listen, Sasha, I'm gonna tell you something. Most comedians, we seek validation on stage from strangers, and we do not
Not from
feel
friends.
we
You're right.
we,
You're
we
right.
feel we
Stuck.
feel very uncomfortable with this direct. You're amazing. Like right now, I'm uncomfortable. Like I'm trying so
You're right.
hard
You're
to.
stuck. You're right.
Yeah, there we go. Comics, we don't do well with this. Hey,
That's
it's
true. We don't.
Sasha. Sasha, you're amazing,
Yeah, that's true.
Sasha.
It's like
Sasha,
it's always deflecting.
it's like ah, stop. I don't.
Yeah, it's like so you're always deflecting, self-deprecating. That's our realm right there.
Yeah, yeah. We don't.
Oh
We
yeah.
don't. We don't like that. We don't. I'm not like if a comedian has too much self esteem, I don't trust them.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like
are
this
they even
dude.
funny? And are they
Yeah,
even funny if they have too much self-esteem? If they're too like, oh, are they even funny?
yeah. I like. I don't trust them. Curly Velasquez in
Hey,
the house.
hey,
We're trying to get him on Brownish, so
let's
stay tuned for
go.
that.
Let's get you on, baby.
But let's bring in our guest.
Yes, I'm
Curly,
excited.
Curly's almost giving out a clue who our guest is, but everybody already knows because we posted about it. I'm excited to have her. Give it up for Maya Murillo.
Maya, what's good?
Hello. I just want to say I always celebrate my birthday, even though like nobody cares. I am that
When is
person.
your birthday?
My birthday is March 25th.
Okay.
Oh, happy belated.
Happy
Thank
belated
you.
birthday.
I'm like a Pisces Aries, but mostly Pisces,
Yeah.
mostly Aries. I love my birthday. I turn up every single time. And
That's so
I
sweet.
totally agree with Sasha. It's just celebrating me, and
Yeah,
yourself.
you have to. You have to. You are pretty amazing. You do so much. Like, what is it that you don't do? I mean, that has to be celebrated. You're gifting everyone with your talents. I mean,
It's a
hello.
gift. And it's like a day all centered around yourself. Yes.
Right. Exactly.
I don't like that I'm getting tag teamed here. You guys are teaming up on me and
With
attacking
positivity.
me.
Oh my God.
I don't like this positivity. Also,
Attacking with love.
the smile on Sasha's face as you started going through your signs, like I'm Pisces, like she's very into that. I'm very like
I
I don't
am.
understand what any of that
I'm a
means.
Pisces.
Oh
I
my
keep
God.
trying to explain to him what it means. Like he's a Capricorn, and he is such a Capricorn.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it's such a Capricorn thing to say. Like, well,
I
I'm
don't
just
like.
work hard. I freaking I run for like 10 miles. Like that's nothing. I jog. Like, come on. I'm amazing at what I do. I go on stage. I kill all the time. It is what it is. Such a Capricorn.
Capricorns, yeah, they don't love me, but I love them. I'm always like, let me hug you, and they're like, get away from me. I guess you're okay.
That's the energy that he's giving us. Like, ow, I don't need this.
Yeah, I love that this became a therapy session for me. Like he's such a Capricorn. Let me tell you what's wrong with him. This was
Yeah, I love when people that know horse or like talk about horoscopes come on because it's like my only time that I could attack him with Capricorn, like with a sign.
But they get shit done.
They
Like
do. That's what I'm saying. Yep.
yes, their work ethic is amazing. I feel like I'm very impulsive, very dreamy because I have like a lot of like water and fire in my chart. And
Right.
the Capricorns are like they get it done. And I always admire them for that. But there's, they can relax a little bit. You guys can take a day to celebrate yourselves, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Because look at what he said.
I
He
don't.
said, "Oh, for my birthday, I would love to be on stage." That means you're working.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a Capricorn.
I don't like what's happening here, so we're gonna shift gears.
Yeah,
We're gonna
let's
turn the
shift
attention to
gears. I love it.
Maya
I love it.
because Maya, I'm a big fan. You during this whole pandemic, you kicked it up a notch. I want to say on Instagram. Like I've been watching you, and just I'm fully in love with your videos. And also, by the way, before we get into that, love your mom. I met her, didn't realize you guys were.
Yes, she's my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is, and she was like the OG influencer before influencer was even a thing. She's like an artist, an author, public speaker. Like she has her own product lines and like all these things. So instead of a quinceañera, I got a website domain name.
Wow.
Which was my the moment. So yeah, she is a hustler and totally an angel. And I feel so like honored and blessed that I share DNA with her. I know that sounds so weird, but she's really like, I don't know, like you've met her, Eric, so you can probably like sense that a little bit. She just gives out like good energy, but yeah, I'm probably the only one who can make her mad because everyone's like, how can she be mad? She smiles all the time, but I'm like, oh, I know how to make her mad. Yes. So.
Yeah, she's got this cool shop in Phoenix, and I I knew her through a mutual friend, Eliana Murillo, which by the way, no, no, you guys are not
No
related.
relation, yeah.
So I didn't put two and two together of you guys being related. So Eliana's like, you got to go visit Kathy. She's great. She got a store down there. Go support. I was like, yeah, I'd love to. I'm going to be in Phoenix. I'll come down, check out the store. And she's like you said, she's very bubbly. She's got this great energy to her. She's like, oh my god, walk around. And like, she wants to make. It's so funny. She's so cute. She had her phone out. She's like, can we do a video? I was like, sure, let's do a video. And then all of a sudden she's like, do you know my daughter? I was like, who's your daughter? She's like, Maya. I was like, wait, hold on. At Maya on the moment, she's like, yeah. I was like, oh my, I love Maya. She goes, yeah, that's my daughter. I was like, oh my god, that's so amazing. And it's so funny because I started asking her questions because I'm always curious about parents, especially when their kids turn out to do something creative. I'm like, how did how did you receive that? Because by the way, I'm in an art store and like your mom's very artsy, and sometimes people like if people ask me like, hey, do you want your kids to do? I'm like, I don't. If they could not do it, that'd be cool. But your mom was very like, oh my god, yeah, no, I'd love it, and I helped her, and and
Yeah, yeah. Both my parents are artists. They do all the art on my walls is from them. They do Mexican American, Dia de los Muertos, like folk art. My dad has his own Latin reggae band, and he has like these long dreads and like all this stuff. So he's like, both my parents are very like bohemian, like hipster before hipster was a word, like holistic stuff. So they have always just organically let my brother and I know that there is this whole creative side that we can pursue because their generation was not able to, or they were, but it was like not without a fight. So they didn't want to pressure us to do anything like that. But we ended up both being in the arts and doing music and videos and everything just naturally. And also, side note, my dad is a Leo, my brother's a Leo, my mom's Sagittarius, and I'm an Aries.
Wow.
So
wow, that's a lot of fire.
Yes, and we all get along. I totally feel like in a past life we've always been together. But yeah, there's a lot of fire in there. But thanks for the shout out to my mom. Oh my god.
It just seems like, with all that fire, that's like the creativity. Like you guys are all creative. Like even going into your mom's website and just seeing like how creative she is and all of these wonderful things that she's done. It's like, wow, like it's really it's in the genes. Like you guys really, yeah. What were one of the first things that you learned from your mom and that you were able to incorporate in the things that you do currently?
I think definitely she's been a great teacher of letting things happen organically, or like pulling from kind of your story and making that art, like taking a personal story and turning it to something that somebody can learn from or laugh from or be surprised at. So like all my videos, I would say, are like those cheesy positive videos sometimes where I'm just like, hey, I don't know, it sounds so dumb when I explain it, but it's one of those things that I'm like, I feel like there's just so much happening nowadays that I'm like, if I can provide that little, like, I mean, as comedians, like you can provide that little spark of like joy or laughter, whatever, like it means so much. And oh yeah, that's a Brandon thing I did.
I love it.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. I've seen this. I've watched this like 10 times already.
Yeah, but like, I suck at dancing. So I did this partnership with Steezy Studio, and it's where you take dance classes. So, I'm a thicker girl, and I've never seen a thick girl like do any of these dance classes or like show that kind of like representation. So I'm just like, whatever, I'm gonna look super goofy and do it. But like while I'm sharing that, I know other people who feel the same way can feel less scared to do those things. And I feel like with each of our comedies and stories, we're able to do that. So that's kind of what my mom taught me to do, is like taking something that you feel like is an insecurity or, whatever, and turning it into like celebrating it and being proud of it. I think that's what I've learned, but I did it in my own way a little bit.
I love it.
So you've never done stand-up?
And I never will.
So it's yeah, like that. Yeah, let's answer that question first. Why wouldn't you do stand-up?
It's so scary. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not something I would be fulfilled by. I think it is so, because Gadiel is like one of my best friends. And so me and Curly, every single time we go to one of his shows, we know his entire set. We know like all of the jokes, we know all the punchlines, and like we always look at the audience to see like, they're gonna laugh at this, but it's always like hit or miss. Like sometimes you bomb, sometimes you don't. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I think I like my little bubble, but maybe one day I'll do it.
I will say that it's so funny to me that you're like, oh, that's so scary. But like the thing that I find so inspiring by your page, and also so terrifying, is that as comedians we have to share vulnerability, but we do it in a way where it's guarded by the comedy. You are just putting that vulnerability out there with no like there's no shield. You're just like, here it is, and I'm gonna walk away now. And as a comic, that's terrifying. Of like, I'm just gonna put this and not know the response until it all starts coming in. It's crazy.
Right.
I think I just don't care. And maybe I need to have that attitude for like when I do, if I were to do stand up. Now I'm like, now I should just do it.
Right.
But yeah, I think I just like, working at Better Like, I definitely, long story short, like I only could understand Spanish when I first got there. I could speak it a little bit. My parents, they're like third or fourth generation Mexican American. We're like Mexican American, like Chicano. Like that's how I identify, definitely. And so that's a different experience than just Mexican or being from Mexico. Like I know where my family's from, but when I got to Better Like, nobody understood that. And like I remember my first week there, I was like, I am going to do this video called When You Suck at Being a Latina. And it's kind of all of the bullet points of like how non-traditional I am. And, I don't know some of the language or some of the slang or some like whatever it is. And I remember my team was like, okay, well, shoot it on Monday and get it done by Friday. I'm like, yeah, for sure. And if they don't love this, then I'm gonna leave because then that means they're not for me. But inside I was like, oh my God. But I was really like, this is my content. This is who I am. I'm not gonna fake like knowing all this stuff. So I did it and it ended up like hitting. Like it did really well. And it kind of opened up this door on both sides of people feeling more represented for, even if they knew Spanish, even if they were from the country, no matter what, everyone had felt not enough in their culture, or in the language, whatever it is, because of our own culture and community, like dogging on each other that, oh, you're not saying this right, or you're not this, or you're not that. So I was like, I'm going to lean into that because who cares? And so I got people on both sides saying like, you should be ashamed. How dare Better Like put, you look great with glasses, by the way.
Thank you.
Like it was very hard at the time because this is the job that I really wanted, but that was a big insecurity. And I was just like, screw it. Like, I'm just going to lean into it and who cares? And it ended up working. And I feel like I really like helped out a lot of people within that, like sharing my own story, because it made it less like, oh, like taboo. So I think that's where that comes from, is like that experience where I was just like, who cares? Like I moved from Phoenix, Arizona all the way to LA, and I'm going to give it all that I got, which was like, I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, right. So I have a question. So those people that were saying like, oh, you shouldn't have posted this, like what did they mean by that? Like were they saying like, oh, like you aren't a real Latina? Like what were the things that they were saying?
Yeah, it was that. I'm not a real Latina. I should be embarrassed or ashamed that I don't know Spanish, that my parents didn't teach me Spanish. And it's like the gatekeepers, right? Like if you don't know how to dance or you don't dance well, it's like, oh, you're not Latino enough or Latinx enough. It was those types of comments. And it's really sad because like nobody really knows like your lineage and why your parents didn't teach you Spanish. Like mine comes from a lot of shame in the past generations. And my family, we have indigenous roots in the Yaqui tribe. And so that's a whole thing where we like, we're shamed of. And so how am I supposed to explain that every single time somebody says that, So it's kind of like, it's like that where they're like, you're not a real. And I'm like, well, then what is a real?
But you are, you know what I mean? But yet you are. And just even like sharing that experience is gonna just touch so many people. Cause like, I feel like my niece, she doesn't speak Spanish, but she is very much Latina. Like she does everything, she cooks like a Latino, all that stuff. She just doesn't know how to speak it. And yeah, some people are like, oh, like you should learn. But at this point, it's like what you said before. Our family was more like older generations were more about assimilating.
Yeah.
And the older you got, you'd be like, man, this is who I am, yo. And I'm just proud of her. And I'm proud of you just being like, I don't speak Spanish, but this is still my heritage and it's going to keep living with me. And I think as long as you pass that down to your children, you're still bringing down or bringing down this lineage. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
You're keeping it alive, baby.
Yes, thank you for saying that. And it's also like if people who don't speak Spanish like want to learn, cool, and if they don't want to learn, cool, whatever. I think it's just like, and I ended up making this video called I tried to learn Spanish in 60 days or 90 days or whatever. After somebody that I had worked with was like, well, at least I'm like not the only one on the team who like doesn't speak Spanish, all this stuff. And I was like hurt by that. And Gabrielle was like, why don't you make a video of you learning Spanish? And I was like, okay, content. So
Right.
I did that video and it was really great. And I noticed like and it was kind of like under the foundation of like, oh, I'm going to learn to prove these people, to prove that I am worthy, to prove my place on the team. And that foundation quickly crumbled because like I had learned Spanish and then those people were like, oh, but you're not saying it this way. Oh, but you're not doing this. You're not saying this word. And I'm like, oh, they will never be satisfied. So like, I'm going to change this like foundation from, learning for them to learning for myself and learning for my grandmother or my family. And now I'm like teaching my mom Spanish and
wow,
unheard of. Like, I know she should be teaching me, but it doesn't matter. Like, that's just how we are.
right.
But yeah, so it's annoying. But now I'm just like, I think that's where it comes from. Yeah, I just like, I don't care anymore.
It's just so funny that these people come out and they're like, oh, you're not Latino enough, you're not Latina enough, you're not Latinx enough. But then we see stories and like the Selena series that came out, and she was someone that did not have a perfect grasp on the Spanish language, but she was idolized by all. Like people still to this day, like, oh my God, Selena, like, oh my, you got it, she's amazing. And then you watch it, and I feel like you and I can relate more because I'm the same way. It's like, oh, you're too American, how dare you? And it's like, yeah, that's the experience. Like we grew up here, and I had a battle in my house where my father was like, no, you don't speak Spanish. We don't want trouble. Assimilate. We're American, and my mother, thank God, was very like, no, you're going to speak the language. You're going to hold on to your culture. It's very important. So it's so funny that it's this ongoing war of like, oh, you're not Latino enough because you don't do this, this, and this. And then when you go, oh, I did it, they're like, yeah, but you didn't do it the way I do it.
Yeah, you didn't do it like this. Yeah. Right. It is. But it's whatever. I just feel like I've just ignored them and just shown up like harder for those people who don't feel enough, and that I'm speaking to them, not those people anymore.
Right.
Because there's a lot of healing that we need to do within our own culture on so many different levels, and not everyone knows our backstory. So yeah,
that's so true. That's why it's really up to you to continue, like, doing what you're doing, for sure.
Exactly. So before you get to better, like before you become Maya in the Moment on Instagram, take us through your first experience where you were just like, you know what, I'm gonna start uploading video. Was it like YouTube? Was it like I'm just gonna start filming? Like, what was your first intention of like, I'm gonna start shooting this?
Yeah, well, I started at like 15, 16 making videos. And I was a teen blogger, and one of my first jobs was like using craft products from this product line or company called I Love to Create, or Duncan Ceramics. And so I would use their products to make craft projects and then post those projects onto my blog. So that's what I was kind of doing first. And then I would like post videos on YouTube, and eventually Vine came out. RIP Vine.
Yeah, Vine, I remember.
Vine came out, and that's kind of where I got my following, and I doing like 6-second videos, and so that's kind of where things started to happen. And then even before that, like I got my heart broken at like 18, 19, started singing love songs for a year, like on my YouTube channel, and then customized love songs on Fiverr.com, which is like a website where you can provide services.
Wow.
And so I was doing customized love songs for couples, and I ended up singing like over 200. That got like I don't know what you got, like media press and stuff. So I was going on these different shows singing to the hosts. And one of the producers on that show kept me in mind for when she moved to LA to go to BuzzFeed. And then later on, she was like, oh yeah, my website's super old. My mom was like, you need to fix it. I'm like, I will later. But yeah, it's like really cute and bubbly. And so that girl from that show had remembered me and then asked me if I wanted to be a resident for Better Like. But it started me at 16 blogging, and then I went to Vine and did all that stuff. So
now, these love songs, were you singing already established love songs, or you were making up your own love songs?
So for the love songs for a year on my YouTube, it was a mix. I was singing love songs that were, like covers, and then I was singing my own originals. And then for the customized, they would send me, I would ask for like the person's name and then a couple of things they love about them and like other things. And I would turn that into a song. So they would give it to their partner for Valentine's Day. I sang songs for like dogs. Like, yeah, it was sounds very cute, but I was so heartbroken at the time that it kind of like hurt my heart even more, because I'm like, I'm singing to these people who are in love and I'm not in love.
I hate to, but we have to go deep here with this interview. What was the love song that you were listening to on repeat during this breakup? If I will share first, I'll be vulnerable. Casey and JoJo All My Life was the first traumatic breakup I had that I on loop, to the point where my mom was like, "You have to stop. I'm gonna throw this thing out."
Mine was I Can't Make You Love Me.
Oh my God.
But the Bonnie Bear version. Yeah.
Okay.
And my ex was so manipulative at the time that he knew that was my favorite song. He had posted that song on his Facebook just to like, and I'm like, you really broke my heart. Now you're doing it again.
Wow.
What?
No, messed up.
Was he like a psychopath or something?
Yeah, he actually came back like this past year and was like, you were the one, I messed up, and I just want to be with you. I'll move to LA right now. And I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah, okay. You didn't fall for it. Thank God.
No.
Thank God you didn't fall for that, because seriously.
No.
Sasha, Sasha, wait, hold up. Before you go on, Sasha, you're not getting out of this. What was your song? Do not leave me and Maya here on this vulnerable branch.
I'm so sick of love songs, so sad of so sick of wishing you were still here. Yeah, so sick of love songs. That one.
Yes.
And then I didn't get heartbroken, but I was like, it did this song helped me get over someone, and it was called the Bad Bunny song, Soy Peor. Ahora soy peor. And I was more like you know what? Fuck you now. Like, if you want to come back, bro, I'm even worse than before.
I don't need you. Yeah.
I don't need you.
I don't need you. I don't need nobody.
I would say, like, my complete like heartbreak song is Neo, So Sick.
It's a good one. It's my go-to karaoke song too. So
yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
It's always so funny to get heartbroken and have those songs that we play on loop, and then after you're over it, and then you hear the song, you just go, "Wow, I really sat in that bed. I really sat in that bed for a week and then shower and listen to that song, huh?"
Right, right. Over this person. Ugh, this person's a loser. I would throw up in my mouth if I see this person ever again. So I just, it's just crazy that, sometimes you just really have to go through these heartbreaks for you to realize that they weren't shit in the first place.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
I mean, and he had always tried to take credit for how I got my start, because
How?
the love songs for a year stuff was because my parents were like, you have to stop crying in the corner of your room. Like, you need to do something for other people. If it's volunteering, like,
Right.
why don't you like make love songs for other people and give out love? So it was kind of that, where that's the story that I told, that I was like, I got heartbroken, you know, and so now I'm doing this. And he's like, it's just like, I feel bad for all of my exes, because their significant others watch my videos and will watch my videos and not know that like their current boyfriend had dated me. So it was kind of like everyone was telling him like, look, like now she's doing this, and now she moved to LA, and now it was just like, you can never get rid of me, but that's not my issue.
Right. My success is bringing you pain and shame. So goodbye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's gotta be so hard. Those girls like, oh my gosh, she's so great. What? And he's like,
Yes, that's
Right.
exactly. He told me like that's what one of his like ex-girlfriends did, and he's like, turn that off. And then he said that he told me that he would talk shit about me to them. And I'm like, so, and then you want me to be with you 10 years later? How does that?
I did that because I love you, Maya. I was talking junk about you because I love you. What?
And I'm insecure. I only felt secure in your arms, making you feel insecure. And now I'm insecure because you don't even like me no more. You're secure about you. Like, this is just.
I was breaking you down to build you up, and look how you flew.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Like, I was breaking down to build me up. The heck? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Are you
it gives
doing better
him,
than me? What's wrong with you?
exactly. I think it gives him a little bit of like an ego boost to know that he like, to say that he dated me or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not even, it's not like that, but okay.
Right.
If he ever does stand up, that's gonna be his credit. Coming to the stage, dated Maya in the moment. Give it up for
the loser. And Auntie Young.
Oh, I hope he sees this.
Oh my God, he is. He's gonna see it. He's gonna see it.
So-
Yeah, we're talking about you. If the shoe fits, wear it.
You know who you are.
All right. I don't even know who he is, but
Yeah, I don't either. But you know.
But you know. Right.
So I do want to talk. So pandemic was so interesting to watch your social media, because you almost pivoted and started doing exactly what you like, being vulnerable, doing these little videos, doing these reels, and I just felt like you really found your voice during all of it. Not that you didn't have your voice before, because I feel like even with the better like videos, you were very secure in who you were. But like I was telling your mom this too. I was like, I just felt like you turned a corner. Like, did you feel that during pandemic?
I did, and I think it was because I had to spend it alone, because my roommate at the time like went to her partner's parents' house in Oregon, so I had to spend it alone, and I had to really entertain myself. But I think it was like really the dancing stuff that I started doing, like TikTok. I'm not good at it, but like I can, make it my own. But I think the thing that I realized when I turned a corner was like, if it's funny to me, then that's all that matters. Like, right. I don't care. It's really that, like, I don't care anymore. I don't care about the numbers. Like, if it's funny to me, then that's fine. Right. I think that's kind of where things shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's such a that's a beautiful place to be in, right? Because when you think about how you got to where you are right now, you weren't thinking about numbers. You were just thinking about ways to express yourself. And I think that once you come to this place of notoriety, there's a whole lot of pressure of like what you should be doing and what you should continue to do, that sometimes it could just like, wear out the creativity, because you're like, now I have to do something that doesn't come natural to me or whatever. So you being honest with yourself, with your humor, I mean, it's just people are going to resonate with that. People notice when people are being authentic. Yeah.
Being authentic. I felt cute that day. I was going to go on a date later, and I was like, I'm going to make sure he sees this. And he did.
Well, you look cute.
I hope you're watching. You know,
I
she
know.
was looking cute. You
That's
messed
right.
up.
But I also think I also
That's gonna be the rest of this interview, by the way. You know what you did. You messed
Right,
up.
right. And look what you're missing right now.
I think like the stuff that I was posting during the pandemic was also like a coping mechanism. Because it really helped me get through not seeing my family who's in Arizona, and also like, it was such, I mean, everyone used this word, but unprecedented time. And so I think using the comedy really helped me get through, because I was just like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, I could die tomorrow and I'm going to post this video because I don't know what's happening in the world.
Right.
No, I agree. I think we all went through that, where it was like, time to, we don't know and tomorrow's not promised, so let's just get to work.
Right.
I know, everything just stopped, and it was like, okay, so, and now it feels like we have this new kind of opening of like, it's just a new feeling. Like my mom, she runs that store, and Arizona is really, really hot. Like I was just there a couple weeks ago, last week actually, and it's like when it turns springtime, it's consistently 100 degrees. Like that's just what it is during the day at night. So somebody was telling her, oh yeah, we shouldn't open up during the summertime because no one's going to want to come out. And I was like, I think not anymore, because everyone was stuck inside.
Right.
Of course they're going to want to come out. So I feel like there's a lot of like different, it just feels different. Doesn't it feel different?
Right.
I don't know.
It does feel different. I feel like people are now more excited to do things. Like it doesn't even matter what the situation is or what event it is. Like everyone's just going to show up.
Yeah. No, like so when I went down there to visit Phoenix and I saw your mom, like it was so funny. Like I was playing this club, and I remember calling the club owner like a week out, like, "Hey, do you need me to like post anything?" And he's like, "Oh no, it's already sold out." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah." He was like, "They're like," he goes, "We've had sellouts every weekend because people are just so excited, they want to be out. Like they've been trapped this whole time, and now they want to be out." And I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." And sure enough, like it was great crowds all weekend, and like even in that center where it was, people were just out. People just wanted to be out, and yeah, to your point, Phoenix is hot. I was like, what are people doing? Get inside.
Yeah, it's really hot. And then whenever it reaches like 80 here, I'm like, it's a little hot. And I'm like, I literally grew up in 100 degrees, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, once you leave your hometown, like those little weather changes. Like now, I grew up in New York where it was like below 0, and now it's like 60. I'm like, ooh, it's chilly.
Yep, that's so real. Like a little breeze. I was like, oh my god, I feel it in my bones. They're like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You've been below 0 degrees going to bars.
If New York me could time travel to LA me, he would beat me down. Like, what's wrong with you? You got a coat on? It's 50. It's chilly.
It just doesn't make any sense. The sun is out. I shouldn't be cold. That's how my brain justifies it. I'm like, because people are like, oh, like you've been used to cold weather. And I'm like, yeah. But the thing is, the weather doesn't change 4 seasons in one day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in New York City, you wake up, the weather's real. It's 40 degrees when you wake up, 40 degrees when you go to sleep. In LA, it's 90 degrees. Then 60, then 30. It's like you gotta wear mad different outfits.
Yes. Yeah. And when I was going to Arizona, I was like packing big sweaters and like, 2 pieces that were like sweater and sweatpants. And then I was like, it's 100 degrees over there. I'm like, what am I? But then it's so cold inside, like, because the air conditioning is on. So I'm like cold inside. It's like total, not important issues, but you're like, I'm cold.
Yeah. So now that things are opening up, what are you looking forward to, or what's next for the great Maya Murillo, the great Maya in the moment?
Oh my gosh. I am definitely currently getting into acting, taking acting classes, like filmed a short that will come out soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like potentially filming another one, auditioning. So it's like those types of things, like Hollywood, I'm coming for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely that kind of stuff. But also, like, you know, without work stuff, I think just going to concerts more. Like, I miss going to concerts and taking a little edible and then just vibing out, you know?
Yeah, that sounds great. That really does. Because
That's
honestly,
amazing.
I want to get wrecked. I've already been getting wrecked. Like, it's funny because I'm like, oh yeah, like as soon as the world opens up, I'm gonna be everywhere. I was invited out yesterday, 2 different places, and I couldn't go because I got hungover the day before. So it was just like,
Damn.
yeah,
Yeah, we've been, all my friends are like vaccinated and like I'm vaccinated. So it's like, it just feels like we can do this now.
yeah,
Like,
it's
we
yeah,
can
yeah,
be around each other.
yeah, absolutely. I'm fully
Now,
vaccinated
do you
too.
get? I'm fully vaccinated, and I have friends that are fully vaccinated. Like, do you guys still do this? I still have my mask on me just in case they get uncomfortable. I'm like, do you want me to? Should we can? What are we doing
Yeah,
here?
I do.
Yes. Yeah. I'll still wear it too when I'm like, if I feel like I'm getting sick or like I feel ugly that day.
Yeah, you heard like Biden said it's either you're vaxxed or masked. Those are your 2 options. So if you're
But you
not
know, there's people that
vaccinated,
aren't vaxxed that are just gonna go.
but here's
I
the
don't trust
thing.
them
It's
people.
like I saw this thing that they said like there's no mandatory masks. Like you don't need to wear a mask if you're fully vaccinated. And my question is like how are you going to vet that? Like people will have to come in and be like, "Oh, this is my vaccination card."
Yeah, I just don't want to look like a Republican not wearing my mask.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But now it's like you're vaccinated. You don't need to do it.
I know. It's just it's so like I don't know. It's such a weird territory.
It's so weird. It's so weird because the experts are saying you don't have to wear it, but it's like how you like. Don't worry, I'm masked. Like don't worry, I'm vaxxed. I'm vaccinated. I don't need a mask. Don't worry, I'm good. Like how do you
Yeah,
announce that?
to say that.
Yeah,
We live in LA. I know people have lied about stuff on their resume to get gigs. I'm gonna believe if they're vaccinated or not. I still carry the mask. I'm like, you know what? I don't trust these people.
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And
put
then I
that
read
on real
another
quick.
article, like a little like short thing, where people were like, "Well, now people who were anti-maskers are gonna wear masks when they're around people who are vaccinated." Right.
Okay.
It's just like I can't believe that we're in this loophole of like what the fuck is going on. It's so funny. That's why it's like I'd rather just hang out with my friends and that's it. And then I'll see whoever I see.
Very that, very that. I used to have like major karaoke parties before the pandemic. I have like a karaoke machine. So I'm ready, thank the Lord. I am ready
Please.
to
Yes.
like have those parties again. Also, shout out to my bestie Curly. Hi Curly.
Curly. I love Curly. Curly's amazing.
He is.
He's just like this little angel that just came into. Every time I meet him, I'm just like vibes are always good. Every time I see him.
See, Curly, now there's no excuse. You gotta get on the show. We talking about you, Curly. We talking about you, and we talking about that other dude who messed up. But Curly, we talking to you. You need to be on the show. Other dude, don't
Right,
even
you messing
DM
up
us.
not being on the show.
Get out of
Look
here.
at that fabulous avatar picture he has there.
I know.
He's so bad. He's the best.
Well, we're gonna shift gears here. So the last 2 weeks, Sasha has been bringing us awful news stories, which I don't want to get into. So I'm gonna bring a good news story. No, we're not. We're not gonna talk about it. We're bringing a good news story. I don't know if you guys saw last night. Miss Universe, Latinx.
The Mexico.
Let's go.
Latinx. I believe the top 3 were all Latina. Peru, Brazil, Mexico.
Love that.
Wow. Ugh, they're just so beautiful.
Wait,
all of them.
2020?
Is that
Uh-oh.
no? Did they, no, it's 2021.
But
They
is
messed
that
What
up.
is it? Miss Universe wins
I don't
20.
know.
They need to fix that because as I'm
They're
looking at
trying
the
to
blog right now,
downplay.
all of them are saying 2020.
Is it from
Yeah.
because they didn't have one last year?
I guess
I
so,
don't
but like,
know.
shouldn't they just skip and just do 2021?
I don't
So
want to
she's
be
2020 and 2021.
You're
that-
right. She's 2020 and 2021. This is that's messed up, bro. Yo, how you gonna give her Miss Universe of the past, bro? Like, how we traveling back in time? That was a horrible year.
Yeah, I don't want to be Miss 20. It was
I don't want to
Universe.
be Miss Universe 2020. ¿Qué vaina es esa?
The sash is
Oh,
really just a
no.
mask. She just brings it up like this.
Oh my god, I just want to say thank you so much. Yo, Miss Universe, this is crazy.
That sucks.
Wow, it was something to say.
But
Look,
we
you
won
try
it.
to bring some
We
good
won it.
news. If we try to bring some good news, which is great news. It is great news that we have a Latina.
Carly going in saying Miss Universe 1994.
Bro, I mean, it's great
Yeah.
news. There was a Latina that won. It's just not great news that she's not 2021. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
they retroacted it. Like, listen, it's gonna be 2020.
Yeah.
We didn't think
When
this
are
was
they gonna
the
do-
way it was gonna go.
When are they gonna do 2021? Now I'm like so confused.
They probably have to catch up, so it's probably going to be another one.
This year? So then she's gonna be like 20 Miss Universe 2020 for like 6
Oh my
months.
god, I know.
Miss Mexico only gets it for a couple months. That's
Listen,
it.
listen, you try to bring good news, Eric, but this is bad news, bro. This is bad news,
Why
yo.
gotta be a Latina? Like, why does she only get?
I was
6
trying to bring good brown news here. The other news story wasn't good. It was about the Cheetos. I didn't want to bring that in here.
Oh, I wanted to ask about that. I was gonna ask about that.
Hold on, then. Let me bring it. Let me bring up the news story. Since we're gonna talk about, we're gonna just keep going with the bad news for Latinos. That's it. That's what we're doing. Bad news with Eric and Sasha. That's it. Look at that. The janitor credit with creating flaming hot Cheetos is saying not to have done it.
Now that looks kind of sus for me. It looks kind of sus.
And the movie's coming out. Miss Mexico, no, you got 2020. Hot Cheetos got, you didn't invent nothing. This is what's happening.
This is super sus for me now because the story has been around for so long. And now all of a sudden that a movie's going to come out and he's going to be credited for it. It no longer, he had no.
Like, didn't they already cast it? And
Like, the story has been around. Like, he's been in endless amount of panels. He's been interviewed by so many people. Who is the person who exposed it? Was it Cheetos? Was it like the company itself? Because if that was the case, then
Chester
it's like-
Cheeto? You thought it was the actual cat, Chester Cheeto? He's like, nah.
it was me. It was a cat the whole time. Right. That's so fucking crazy. I'm gonna have to look into that. That story just.
So I believe, and I don't know the name of the writer. An LA Times article came out this weekend. This guy had been doing the research for the last year, interviewing people at Frito-Lay, and he's coming out saying that this dude had nothing to do with it. That it was actually a division, I forget where, and that he credited this white woman of creating the Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Don't believe it. I truly. I'm sorry. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. I don't think
A white woman flaming hot Cheetos, please. I am so sorry.
That doesn't.
I'm just bringing you guys the news. I don't understand. I feel like you guys are coming at me right now.
No. I'm not coming.
I just
like in the beginning.
Know, are we eating hot Cheetos or not? Are we boycotting?
No, I'm gonna boycott. If he didn't, I'm gonna boycott it. If he didn't make it. Because it doesn't make sense. Because like from the story that he was gathering, he was like, "Yo, like what was it that he said? Like the seasonings of like an elote, they put it in the Cheetos and they started taking a bite and they're like, oh, this tastes good. And then he brought it into work. So like, how did he become? That's why it just doesn't make any sense. He went from being a janitor to like doing so much in the company. So it just doesn't make any sense that he is not.
Yeah, I would definitely follow Yolanda Machado because she said she spoke with him and said that he was blindsided by the LA Times article and like had absolutely no idea. So there is something going on with LA Times, and
Are they really trying to bring
what's
us
the
down?
truth?
Yeah. I just love the people that are like, oh, we got this witch hunt for this Flaming Cheetos guy, but we cool with Christopher Columbus and the Rocky statue in Philadelphia, who's not even a real character. Yeah, that's cool. But how
Right.
dare this guy if he didn't do it?
Like, we knew it.
Wow.
No, Christopher Columbus did discover America, even though there was people living here. But
Even
this
though
dude right here,
he never laid foot in America.
this dude right here did not invent these flaming hot Cheetos.
Christopher
Hold on.
Columbus never laid foot in America. Okay, this man only landed in Dominican Republic, lived and died there. He never stepped foot in America,
Mm-hmm.
and that's crazy. And it goes back to what you're saying. It's like somebody is trying to Christopher Columbus this guy right now, and I'm not feeling it. I feel like I believe his story. His story seems authentic. I'm gonna have to read up on this.
But the problem is this: when Christopher Columbus landed in DR, the garbage from his flaming hot Cheeto bag floated to America. So that's the evidence they found, and they're like, "Oh, this dude was eating.
Oh, he been here.
He been here."
Yeah, that makes sense. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I try to bring one good news story, and little did I know that they said, "Nah, lady, you're gonna be Miss Universe 1999, not today."
Yo, that's so crazy.
Well, thanks for the downer news.
I know, right? Thanks for the downers, but we are still creative people, and I'm pretty sure that Maya, you coming out with some amazing shit. I've already seen Eric's stand up. It's hilarious. It deserves another special. And me, I'm working on shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing stuff, and I'm just so happy to be able to have this platform and just talk to people that do the same thing that we do. We just create and all that stuff. And yeah, maybe the Cheeto story wasn't authentic, let's say, but we authentic, and we're here to create amazing things. So I'm excited.
See, this is why I have her as my co-host. See how she wrapped it all up in a beautiful bow. I love it.
I'm serious. I'm so happy to have you on here, Maya.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm such a fan of both of you. I love your videos, and I just love that we're all we're doing it,
Absolutely.
Yes. So Maya, tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on any social media platform at Maya in the Moment, MAYA in the Moment. And yes, that's that.
Yes, go follow her. And I've said it before, the best thing you can do as the world is slowly opening back up is follow everyone we have on this show. Like their stuff, share their stuff, because that's the only way we get the word out, and we appreciate that. We're not asking for money. Just like, share. It's an easy process.
That's it. That's it. There's nothing that Maya can't do. She sings, she acts, she dances, she's funny. Hello,
she's super hilarious. Go follow. Go follow. Sasha.
You guys could find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sasha Mercy. You can also catch me and Dee in De Lo Mio, that's streaming right now on HBO Max.
Go watch her on HBO Max.
No, and then I'm gonna hand it on to you, Eric. Like, where can they find you? Where you at?
And then after you're done watching her on De Lo Mio on HBO Max, you might as well watch my half-hour special, Super White. It's also streaming now on HBO Max. You can also catch the audio on Pandora, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Follow me on all things at Eric Rivera Comedy. Maya, thank you so much for joining us. You're amazing. And I mean that you're amazing in 2021. I'm not going to retroactive you. 2021, you're amazing.
Thank you. Where's my crown?
Right here.
There it is. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you all next